If you're a real estate agent tired of making YouTube videos because you're not getting any views, you're not getting any engagement, and worse off, you're not getting a single lead, this is the video for you. Because for the first time, I'm sharing with you the 5 videos that are actually working for our real estate agents right now. This is the information that I've never shared before publicly. This is information that I've compiled having produced over 4,000 videos in the real estate niche. So with that being said, let me show you the 5 videos that are gonna help you add an additional 100K in GCI. All right, so let's begin. There's only 5 videos that you need to focus on to add an additional 100K for your year. And when I say 5 videos, I mean it. Yes, you can create more videos, and I encourage you to do so, but these 5 videos are your workhorses. These are the videos that are gonna help you produce lead after lead, client after client, and are gonna help you buy some of your tieback. So let's get into it. One thing that we as real estate agents need to realize is that there's a one and done rule in several different capacities. Number one, 81% of the consumers out there interview one agent and they're done. Yes, they're done. They're not going to go out there and shop around. They're not going to go out there and interview 5 people at a time. 81% of the consumers are going to go with the first agent that they meet. Now, why do I bring this up? This is a YouTube conversation. Well, YouTube makes you that first agent. YouTube allows individuals to meet you at scale. Think about it this way. Whenever you're presenting in a room, in an auditorium, you can present to 200 to 300 to 400. And think about that pressure with that presentation. Well, here on YouTube, you're recording into the camera and those same 200, 300, 400, 5,000, 50,000 people get to see you. And many of them that actually need a agent right on the spot are gonna stop scrolling, are gonna stop going to anybody else and reach out to you. They're one and done. So here's the thing, you don't need 10,000 views. You need the right type of views. You need 50 views for people that are looking to move into the area. So we're not looking to go viral. Now, we'd love that, but we don't need it. So understand that the one and done rule applies to the consumer behavior. Understand that it also applies to your YouTube videos. Once you record your video, you're done. Right? So once you record that video, you don't have to re-record it in order for the next viewer to benefit from it, as opposed to the cold calling that you have to do. So the moment that somebody hangs up on you for the 100th time, well, you have to pick up the phone 101 time and try somebody else. That's the difference here. So this is a huge distinction that we as agents need to realize in order to magnify our YouTube reach. Now, the viral trap, once again, you're going to see in many cases a lot of channels out there that have a good amount of views, and typically it's around the genre of the real estate market is collapsing, the housing market's about to collapse for the 100th time. Well, so you're going to see hundreds of thousands of views on those videos. However, when it comes to GCI, when it comes to what matters, to where it comes to somebody reaching out to those channels and helping them buy or sell, the commission that comes from those types of videos is essentially zero. So those channels exist to make AdSense money, not to help buyers buy or sellers sell, as opposed to what I encourage and what I've been encouraging since 2018 for real estate agents that want to make YouTube work for them is focus on the right types of views. There's a big difference between 300 views that are going to generate $30,000 worth of GCI versus 100,000 views that generates zero. So there's a big difference between 100,000 views that are essentially just for entertainment, if you will, versus 300 people, 300 views that are looking to move to Dallas, that are looking to move to Orlando, that are looking to move to Los Angeles. There's a wide difference. And the reason I'm sharing this at the beginning is because I don't want you to fall into that viral trap. We don't need a video to go viral. We'll take it if it's the right type of video that we're making, but at the end of the day, it's not necessary for us to win. Now, why do these 5 videos that we're going to talk about matter? Well, number one, they get you closings. That's why we're here. That's the number one reason. Every agent can win. So these videos work in all the markets that we've introduced them, have worked for every single agent that we've worked with in their respective markets. So once again, we're not looking for that viral. We're not looking to be the Graham Steffens. We're not looking to be the Dave Ramseys. We're not looking to be the Grant Cardones. And I understand not all of them have their real estate license, but we don't need to have that national footprint and make our money off of the AdSense or any other things that we've got going on. You have plenty of business, plenty of opportunity with real estate as a whole in your market, as well as introducing that through YouTube. Now, going viral again is not necessary, and this is something that you can rinse and repeat every single year. These are videos that, while they're going to be on your channel working year after year after year, you can continue to recreate them. You can continue to add to the library as you get more clients, and as the time goes by, you're able to recreate these time and time again. Now, video number one is your city videos. Now, there's multiple types of videos, but they all come down to the same kind, which is local city content. So there's different packaging that I want to introduce to you so you see the differences, because some of you might not feel so comfortable with the type of packaging, but you could easily modify them slightly to fit the exact nature of what these videos are designed to do. Now, why do these videos work? Well, number one, these city videos, again, these are local city videos, the areas that you work. So that's Los Angeles, Sacramento, Oklahoma City, Seattle, New York City, wherever you happen to work, wherever you happen to do real estate, it will work there. Now, this builds hyper local authority. So you are the individual that people go to get additional information about the city, get additional information about the area and where they're moving to or where they're moving away from in some cases. This is going to drive organic traffic for months and months and months into years. This is something that's going to help you from a Google perspective, from a YouTube perspective, and beyond. This is going to help you improve SEO. So this is, as we know, YouTube is a Google product, is a Google owned entity. So you're not only ranking on Google when somebody searches there, you're ranking on YouTube. And what you're going to quickly find is that you're going to quickly rank in AI engine optimization, so AEO. So essentially the chats of the world, the Claudes of the world, the Groks of the world, you're able to rank in those large language models fairly easily with YouTube at the helm. So this is something you're able to rinse and repeat with every single city, every single neighborhood that you cover. So the local city content is what takes a global YouTube platform and makes it central to the market that you happen to work. So you don't have to speak into generalities. You don't have to speak to the entire nation. You get to speak specifically to the areas that you know, because people that are looking for that additional information of the areas that you happen to work in are reaching out to you, because once again, you're building that hyperlocal authority that's necessary. Now, let me give you an example, and this is one of thousands and thousands and thousands of examples, but I want to illustrate to you how making the right types of videos make a huge impact in your business. So now let's go into an example so you start seeing how this starts working in your business. So this is Tammy. So this is somebody that is absolutely crushing it every single day. She has appointments in her calendar. These are individuals that are looking to work with Tammy, nobody else. So at this point, they have found her credible. They want to work with her. It's not a question of if they're going to work with Tammy when they book a appointment. It's a question of when. So the timing of when they're going to purchase. And that's something that they have the conversation with Tammy about. So everything you need to know about living in Gainesville, Florida, watch this first. That is the title of this video. And this is also the thumbnail of that video. What this is designed to do is designed to promote Tammy as the market leader, as the hyper local authority in the space, and has been successful not just with this video, but the next video, the third, the fifth. I think she has about, I want to say about 100 and, well, actually this would say it, so 143 videos in her channel, and just growing every single week. So she gets hundreds of thousands of views on her YouTube channel every single month. So what this allows her to do is prospect at scale. What this allows her to do is to be the person, the agent in Gainesville that has taken over the market. So anytime somebody types in Gainesville real estate, Gainesville houses, what do I need to know about Gainesville? Like, what neighborhood should I go to? Every single step of the way, Tammy is there in the form of YouTube. So every single opportunity is taken for now the viewer to give her their contact information by booking an appointment. So that's one of the thousands of examples, but I wanted you to see it in action. I wanted you to see the actual packaging that goes along with the local city videos, so you can be doing this in your market as well. And again, this works in all the markets. Now, second type of video is one of my favorites, and these are workflow videos. These are videos that you get to introduce into your workflow. I'm going to give you different entry points. This is really where you're going to start buying back your time. This is where you're going to start converting more and more leads. It's going to introduce you to a ton more people looking to buy and looking to sell. Regardless if you're doing buying, regardless if you're doing selling, workflow videos help your business. So let me give you some different entry points. The very first video to make is how to buy in the city that you happen to work in, how to buy real estate in Dallas, how to buy a new home in Dallas, how to buy a condo in Dallas. The how to buy in series is so vital, but you don't have to take it to the series. It's just the video that I encourage you to make right now is the how to buy in a specific city video. This video will help you from a workflow perspective. This video is going to help you whenever you're speaking to leads that are interested in buying in the area. This is going to help you have content to your email database to keep people engaged so they know what the next step is whenever it's time for them to actually make a transaction. This is going to introduce you to people that are looking to buy or looking to sell, if you're on the selling side, with ease. So this is one of our highest impact videos. This is one of the videos that will, as far as views per lead ratio, this is going to be one of your best performing videos out there because it's so low in the funnel at this point where people will actually take action. You're going to see some examples of that here shortly. Now, when I say workflow videos, I want to introduce you to other types of videos, and then we're going to get into like the stages of purchasing to give you a better grasp on what that looks like. But what to do while you're under contract, this is another type of video that works in your workflow series. So what to do while you're under contract, this in and of itself is a video. This is the video that you introduce into your workflow so the people that are in contract with you know what the next step is. This is allowing you to stay organized. It allows you to complete inspections with relative ease. It allows you to monitor deadlines. It allows you to communicate. Now, while you make the video on how to buy a new home, how to buy real estate, how to buy a condo, how to buy a home in probate, whatever type of real estate that you happen to touch with more frequency, that video is gonna be gold. However, I want to take this one step further. This can actually morph into other types of videos. This is actually that series that we recently just talked about. Think about the timeline. Think about the timeline of a transaction. So there's a framework that you typically go through with a transaction. There's the pre-qualification, there's the contract getting signed, the inspection period, the appraisal, the closing day. Or since this is essentially every single transaction that you go through goes through this framework, goes through this funnel, goes through this roadmap, goes through this journey, whatever you want to call it. So while your video on how to buy real estate in Dallas, as an example, is going to cover every single one of these, it's to your advantage to break these up into videos, into a series that you get to introduce once again into your workflow, that you get to introduce to your buyers that are working with you. So as they go through their next milestone and their next milestone and their next milestone, you introduce this video into you text this to them, you email them every single, as an example, within our real estate team, every single week we send out a email to our clients that are under contract, and we accompany it with information on what happens next. This is the exact funnel that we use here internally as well to close the transactions that we do. So think about this timeline in this way and introduce your workflow via video. So in other words, we're making videos for each one of these steps of the workflow to condense the information that we were going to convey anyway. you're going to speak to your client and explain the inspection period, right? You're going to share with them what they can and can't do, what to expect, what not to expect, what happens next, what doesn't happen next. This is information that you share with them anyway. So why not present that information in a video-based format that gets to their inbox and they get to watch it at their time, at their convenience, so you don't have to coordinate calendars at that point. These videos, while they do work with your clients and are designed to save you time, guess what? They live on YouTube as well. And in YouTube world, what happens there is the YouTube world is going to attract clients to you for those people that are looking for this information already, that are getting super prepared. In some cases, we run into clients that are way more prepared than some of our brand new agents. So that's the level of detail that we place in our videos. That's the level of information that we provide in our videos, so our clients are better informed, better educated, and helps our agents with their transaction management. And it works incredibly well. So I encourage you to apply this framework. I encourage you to think through the timeline of your own transactions and make videos around them in order to enhance the experience. Now, video number 3 is one of my favorites, and this is the questions to ask your realtor. Now, this video works so well. This works incredibly well. Now, I'll share with you how to appropriately think about this, but this is a type of video that is far, far, far underrated right now. And now this video works on YouTube, works on Google, works on AEO. So again, AI engine optimization. So here we're talking about a Claude. Here we're talking about ChatGPT. We're talking about Grok. We're talking about Gemini. This video is going to do some heavy lifting on all those 3 platforms. The YouTube, well, I guess categories. So YouTube, Google, and the large language models. So think about it this way. There's a big, massive opportunity gap right now. 73% of homeowners state that they are more likely to list with an agent who uses video marketing. So you know that the client is looking for this type of information. You see that the client is searching for this information. That's one thing to know. But the second thing to note is that only 12% of agents actually produce consistent video. Now, the reason that I want to introduce this to you here and present this stat here to you is because there's so much more demand for video than there is production of video. Let me say it again. There's so much more demand for video than there is production of video. So there's a massive opportunity gap. Now, here's where we get to the big reveal, and really where you're going to start really seeing the opportunity here is you get to write the test with this video. So think about the video that we just introduced. Questions to ask your realtor. When you make a video, questions to ask your next listing agent, questions to ask your next real estate agent, how to interview your real estate agent. That's the video that we're referencing here. And we know that the consumer, the people that we work with, are actively looking for this information. And we know that our peers, other real estate agents, are not providing that information, are not doing this video content. So what we get to do, we make the video how to hire your next real estate agent, questions to ask your next realtor, how to interview your real estate agent correctly. That video is one that you create. That test is one that you get to write the answers for. So here's where I want to spend a little bit of time here to really illustrate the point, because it's so valuable at this point. Once you get it, you're going to make 30 versions of this. Now, the reason you're doing this is because let's look at 2 different examples. Let's say we have that real estate agent that's been in the business for 30 years. And if that's you, congratulations. But let's also look at that new agent that just got their license yesterday. There's 2 different value propositions, right? So the individual that is making this type of video, the questions to ask your realtor, that agent is writing a different test if they're new versus if they have 30 years of experience. If you're new, you're asking questions that have to do with drive. You're asking questions that have to do more with time, availability, tenacity, ability to focus on a specific transaction. You're not going to make a video that is encouraging the consumer to ask, how many transactions have you closed? You're not going to be making that video because you're shooting yourself in the foot. But when you look at an experienced agent, well, that agent is going to lean more towards experience. It's going to lean more towards, hey, ask how many transactions have you closed in your career, right? So when you get to write the test, you get to, for lack of a better way of put the thumb on the scale at this point. For my brand new new agents, the ones that are getting started on YouTube, there's a different questionnaire that I encourage them to create the video around, right? So the questions that a brand new agent is going to record that video for is radically different than one that has 30 years of experience. Now, let me know if this is making sense. Let me know down below how many years you've been in real estate to make sure that that we're in the same ballpark, to see if this is making sense. Now, again, this is the third video that you need to be making, and this doesn't require 1 million views to be effective. What this required is a couple hundred views to get a client. Now, I'm not talking about get engagement. I'm not talking about even getting a lead. I'm talking about getting an actual client that converts. Now let's go to video number 4. This is where we get to the viral. This is where we get to the viral topics. Everybody is leaving a specific city. So everybody is leaving San Antonio, everybody's leaving Houston, everybody's leaving Tallahassee. Whatever city you happen to be working in, you're making this video. Why? This is going to introduce you to a wide array of viewers. Now, we need to talk about how to actually package this, how to actually present this correctly. But this is one of those videos that's designed to grow your reach exponentially. I mean, exponentially. Tammy, the individual that I shared with you earlier, this is one of her first hits. So she made Why Everybody's Leaving a Specific Area in Florida. And to this day right now has like 1.5 million views on that channel, and has produced client after client after client after client because of the reach that it had. So let's talk about this. Now, why do these videos as a whole, why do they get higher clicks? Well, negative or counterintuitive titles get 3 times a higher click-through rate than positive titles. If it bleeds, it leads. That's how the news operates. And in this particular case, we take a page, we don't take the entire book, but we take a page from that mindset to present information to capture attention. Now, we're doing this when it comes to packaging, we're doing this for a specific reason, to capture attention. We're not doing this to trash our community. You're going to see how we actually package this correctly. But we do need to play the YouTube game because we're in a competition with other creators, not just other real estate agents, other creators. So this is why when we frame our titles, when we frame them in this way, we are capturing attention. What we do with that attention is really what it comes down to. So we become the honest broker at this point. So the honest broker strategy is something that a lot of agents are hesitant to do. Anytime I present this topic, it becomes a conversation. So here's what this means. So when you're the honest broker in presenting that video, again, not to lose a plot here, we're talking about why everybody is leaving a specific city. The honest broker strategy is this: it addresses the downsides, it addresses the cons of a specific city. It validates their frustration. So you're not wrong for identifying the things that are a concern in a specific area. But here's the important part: you're offering localized solutions. You're providing context. You're providing something valuable that is not just trashing the community that you're in. So this is not a case of bashing the Phoenixes of the world. It's not the case of saying everything is wrong in Miami. You're not doing that. That's not the type of game that we're playing. What we're doing is we are building that instant trust because we're actually sharing the downsides to a specific area, the same way that we would be that honest broker and that transparent person on a one-to-one conversation. Whenever somebody's thinking about moving to your city, you share what the city provides and what it doesn't. In this case, what it doesn't, that's what we're presenting here in these videos. So if you're one of those individuals that is, it's always sunny and there's nothing wrong with my city, trust that there's platforms out there that will show you and tell you what's wrong with this city. So one of the easiest ways to go and research meaningful, and this is the important part, we're not looking for just like, oh, this is full of racists, this is full of, the traffic's terrible and they should blah, blah, blah. Just, you're not looking for that type of feedback. You're looking for some real concerns. You're looking for some, hey, I think that these property tax rates are becoming unmanageable and blah, blah, blah. So something of substance here. Going to Reddit, the Reddit research method is one of the best ways that you can provide meaningful or capture meaningful downsides that you can comfortably illustrate in your videos, right? So if there's a concern about city ordinances, maybe in a specific county that you happen to be in, they're just green lighting all of these. Well, right now in the news, if you're talking about the AI, these data centers or whatever they're called, that's a real concern. That's a real concern right now, right? So it's something that you get to provide. That's something that you get to share in your videos that has actual value, right? So if you know that there's something that is out there that might be an issue for a specific city, it's okay to highlight that. You're not trashing it, you're presenting information. So this is the best way that I can explain this. It's going to be the complaint plus solution formula. You talk about the real issue that's at hand, in this case is data centers, and then provide clarity and options. So what your solution could be in terms of maybe somebody, if the politicians are green lighting, and I'm just spitballing here, if the politicians are green lighting all these data centers and they cause the energy prices to skyrocket, well, why don't they cover the rise? Why don't they pay more for energy? Or they're going to make everybody else's energy go higher. Can they provide an increased tax to the city? Can they do this? Can they do that? You're providing something as opposed to, I don't want to curse them, and I just don't like cursing, period, but I don't want to curse it. It's just, I don't want to be the complainer without solutions, right? There's that person that just continues to nag, right? And there's that difference between being somebody that just nags and the sky is falling every time. And it's just very challenging to be next to them or near them or do business with them. We're not looking for that. We're looking for, this is a clear problem. This is what I think could happen, should happen, will happen. You make the decision if this is the right city for you. It's an example, if you know that a big data center, I don't know why I'm thinking about data centers all this time. I probably should have prepped for that, but that's just in the news so much right now that it's a real thing. That if you know that a data center is coming to to a city near you, if you will, then it's okay to call that out or bring that up is a better way of saying that, and provide some nuance, provide some context, and provide something valuable from that video. So the reason that we're framing the video, not to lose the plot, why everybody is leaving a specific city, this video is essentially a different twist on a cons video, the downside of living in a specific city. That's why we're making this video. Now for video number 5 is your cost of living breakdown. There's different packages that you could do, or packaging that you could do for this particular video. Now one thing to understand though is that from a generational trends, you're looking at 51% of home buyers are millennials and Gen Xers, right? And their biggest concerns are what? Affordability, mortgage rates, and cost of living. You're looking at the individuals that are looking, or at this point have started a family, or on the routes to start their family, and you're looking at what their concerns are. Why not address those concerns? That's why we get into the cost of living, right? So many of them are looking across state lines. Many of them are looking across different cities to answer for that, right? So if a city becomes unaffordable, I'll give you an example. Here in Dallas-Fort Worth, there's about 100 cities that have around 10,000 or more population is the best way of saying that. So it's about 100 cities. Well, some of these cities have absolutely skyrocketed in price and makes property taxes unaffordable for individuals. So Frisco, 10 years ago, you could buy homes for $150,000. Now the average price point in Frisco is $800,000, right? So the individuals that own in that area that were accustomed to paying a certain amount of property taxes, well, now it becomes unaffordable, right? So those individuals that maybe the Gen Xers and millennials that inherited those properties or were looking to buy close to their family or where they grew up, well, that's not attainable at this point. So they will need to go to the colony south of Frisco. They might need to go further north of Salina now. Salina has gotten quite up there in prices. They might need to end up in Providence Village. And if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, you know where these cities are, to get a better understanding of that. What I'm trying to convey here is when you talk about the cost of living, you're speaking to the individuals that are highly motivated to purchase, that they have questions, they have concerns, and they need to be addressed. They need to be explained. The affordability component, the mortgage rates component, and the cost of living component, so you can speak to the individuals that ultimately are going to be making a purchasing decision soon. So why does this create the warmest leads? You're attracting relocating buyers. That's pretty evident, but it's worth repeating. It solves the major pain points that they experience right now. It's highly searched at the moment. It's not just highly searched on YouTube, it's highly searched on Google, it's highly searched on ChatGPT, on Claude. People are looking for these answers, and if you're the person that's creating these answers, then you're the person that's getting the calls. This actually leads to real conversations because it's real humans that are getting a real need met at this point. So as an example, if you're going to do a cost of living comparison, something very simple that you do is create a simple chart around, what's the prices, what's the utility cost, what's the grocery cost, what are property taxes. This gives you a really good visual of what the differences are between Fort Worth and Los Angeles. Right now, this particular case, this is for information purposes only. I can't confirm that these are still the case, but just give you the a quick way to present this information and help those millennials and Gen Xers make meaningful decisions around your expertise, about what you have done the research. So if you can explain the math, if you can distill complex information and present it in a very tangible way, in a very bite-sized consumable way, you're going to get the call 9 out of 10 times. If the reason that 1 out of 10 times is because they called the wrong number, right? That's probably the only reason you don't get that call. So if you can present information that's complex and this is very overwhelming type of a decision making, if you're able to condense it in a way where people can understand it, 9 out of 10 times you're going to get the call. So the cost of living, so the comparison, the cost of living is one of the best ways that you can illustrate the why your market may make sense or why it may not make sense for them to move into that area, so you can basically present a better fit for somebody that is looking to purchase. And digging a little bit deeper, why relocating buyers search for this information: they need accurate numbers, they need to compare cities, they plan to move, and they're ready to take action. Once again, if you're able to distill this information and present it in a way that is understandable, you're getting the call. Now, the reason that cost of living videos help you convert more is because, again, they're high intent viewers. They tend to watch a long time because they don't want to make this decision the wrong way. You're going to get more engagement. You're going to get more comments because they're asking questions. You're going to get more calls and client consultations because guess what? They're coming to be your neighbor. People that are relocating from California to Texas, from New York to Florida, from Tennessee to Florida, from Florida to Texas, wherever, it doesn't matter. People that are looking to make that move, that are either their job is relocating from Washington to their headquarters is relocating from Washington to Texas, or from California to Nevada. Those individuals that are having to relocate because of their work, they already have a big disruption and that's their work. So now you get to help them fill in the rest of the gaps, the important gaps of where to live, the family situation, the neighborhoods to be in, what to do with schools, what to do with this, what to do with that. You are their trusted advisor at this point. So you're able to do this not just with one-on-one, you're able to do this one to thousands of people. That's why these videos tend to convert so well. Now, here's the thing. You have the framework now. Now it's time for you to apply it to your specific market, because most agents leave a training similar to this, all excited, ready to go. They see the light because they see it that's working for somebody else. However, you immediately start asking, okay, well, what city should I focus on? What video should I record first? What title should I use? Information is not the problem. In this age of ChatGPT, information is not the problem. Implementation is, and we all know that at this point. So what I want to make available to you is we have a 15-minute YouTube strategy call. Now, if you're watching this video right now, you have access to that. You have access to that right now. All you have to do is text 469-966-4800, text strategy to this phone number, and I personally will be responding to you. I personally will be supporting you, and we're going to be setting up a 15-minute strategy call for your YouTube channel where we're going to identify the best content opportunities for you right now in the market that you're in, and I'm going to share with you the immediate action steps that need to happen, right? So at this point, we have helped well over 100 channels launch and successfully have a YouTube business around as a real estate agent. So we've helped over 100 YouTube channels get launched and be successful, and real estate agents right now that are doing all of their business through YouTube. So I want you to do the same. So if you are interested in this 15-minute strategy call, no more than 15, it's going to be very concise, to the point. We look at your market, we look at your channel, we look at your opportunity, and present to you the action steps to take. If you are interested in this, just text strategy to 469-966-4800. See you on the next one.